to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast, episode number 63 for your Wednesday night, August 31st, 2022. Welcome back to the channel. I am joined by ProEnzo Vidz, All Out CHAMPA as usual, and I'm also joined by special guest MOXLEY, and HAYNESY is here as well. He's just having a few internet problems at the moment, but I'm sure that will be all sorted in just a tick. ProEnzo Vidz, mate, how the hell are you?
Yeah, I'm going great. And look, it should be a good episode coming up ahead. You know, obviously, I saw the topics and some good ones. And I hope you're going well yourself, Nick, and everyone here, CJ, HAYNESY, CHAMPA, and chat. So be prepared for a good episode.
It's a massive show, mate, and it's good to have you on as always, Lorenzo. CHAMPA, how you going, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Nick. Thank you, Nick, for having me on. Lorenzo, HAYNESY, CJ, guys, welcome, guys, and the chat. Big episode coming up, right? You do not want to miss this.
And CHAMPA, I just want to say as well, congratulations to your rugby league team, the Penrith Brothers, on getting into the grand final. Hopefully, you guys can go all the way this weekend.
Yeah, it was a pretty good achievement considering we were coming last throughout most of the season. We managed to find some form back close to the finals, and look, now we're in the grand final, going up against first place.
What a story. What a fairy tale. It's like the 2009 Parramatta Eels, mate, or it's like this year's Roosters. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
HAYNESY is here once again. HAYNESY, mate. HAYNESY, how's it going, bro? It's good to have you on the channel once again. How are you, bro?
There you go, Nick. G'day, guys. Great to be back on again. Hopefully we get the views again. It's great to be back. Can't wait to get into the business end of the season. It's always great to be part of finals footy again. Can't wait to get into a massive episode tonight.
Mate, how was your trip to Melbourne? I saw your vlog. I thought it was fantastic, mate. That would have cost a bit of money getting down to Melbourne and back.
Not as bad as I expected. It was good to get the result, of course, against Melbourne. Look, it was a great weekend. I made the stupid decision to fly from the Gold Coast instead of Brisbane. First flight was delayed for about 2 hours. I was the stupid decided to go to Avalon, which is like near Geelong, so an hour away from Melbourne. So I was like running against a bit of time to get to Melbourne in time. Got in all right, and enjoyed the footy. Amy Park's a fantastic ground. I recommend going. It's a beautiful stadium, and just the precinct itself, from like the MCG, the tennis arenas as well, and then it's just a beautiful, beautiful place, and I recommend going. On the Saturday, my flight got cancelled, so I was stuck in Melbourne for like the rest of all day. So I went to the likes of Punt Road. If AFL fans there, went to Punt Road / Collingwood as well, Richmond and Collingwood. So made the day of it as well. But apart from the airlines being annoying, great weekend.
Well, that's good to hear. And CJ Moxley, I believe you're heading to South Roosters Friday night. Mate, I got to say, mate, how the hell are you going anyway? You going all right?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm doing good, bro. Getting ready for my graduation in a couple of weeks, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Looking forward to finals footy just around the corner, and especially this Friday. I'm sure me and HAYNESY will have a lot to say on that.
You know what's funny? My team's in the finals. The two guests on the show are in the finals, but the other co-hosts of the podcast, ProEnzo and CHAMPA, Manly and Tigers. What's wrong with you fellas?
Yeah.
We should have made it this year, but we failed, unfortunately.
What is finals footy? What is finals footy? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. 11 years. 11 years.
We failed this year.
Terrible.
Mental health must be kicking in. Mental health is kicking in for the Tigers, man. Jesus. I feel for them. I feel for them. I really do. I feel for them. I don't know how they keep rocking up every week. Passion is involved.
I don't know how they. I think only the West Tigers find out that we lose those games last weekend. They're the only team that lose those.
Oh, God. All right. Well, fellas, let's get into the podcast. I said we've got about 20 people in the live chat, so the chat is looking pretty good. Hope everyone in the chat's doing well. We've got the usual crowd here. Hello, Jason Reader, Cuddy Games PlayStation, SS Storm fan, Bosky, Luke Melbourne Storm fan. The Sharkies is here as well. Warriors and ARL Fanatics, National Sports Loader, Electrical Dust, Bugger Me. The chat's going off. The usual crowd is here, so it's good to see. All right. We're going to begin with topic number 5, and it's one that I can't believe has happened. I don't even know where to begin with this. Topic number 5. What has happened to the Broncos? Jesus Christ. I want to start with you first on this, Lorenzo. What's happened to them?
Oh, what has happened to them? I mean, too much to really say. Like, they were in the top 4 about round 21 or a couple of weeks ago, and they were locked in for finals for sure. Everyone was saying that Brisbane are going to be in the finals and they're not going to miss it by any way at all. But they've just fallen off a cliff. Like, they've lost to Roosters, who were obviously good form then. But since that loss, I think they've really gone backwards. And or actually, the Tigers lost as well, which really ruined them as well. And got smashed by Storm a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, they got smashed by Para last week. So I think it's a real mentality thing that's struggling for them at the moment. Like, I think it's either their rookies that are just, at the moment, not all there, and obviously not playing, a full 80 minutes together and all that. But it's just weird because the Broncos, for me, were one of the most improved teams this year. They should have been if they made finals, but it's unlikely they're going to make it now. So they're in a lot of trouble.
They've choked their season out. They've fucked it up. They were in the top 4 weeks ago. They've ruined it. CHAMPA, what's happened to them, bro?
Like you said, Nick, there was always going to be a choker in the top 8, and it was the Broncos. I honestly, they can't make any excuses other than they've just been playing bad footy. Like, injuries haven't hurt them. They still have Reynolds, Tamara Martin still in the team. Their forwards are mostly in the team. Yeah, they've had a few injuries there, but they've mostly had a very strong and consistent lineup. But what has happened is they've just fallen asleep. And it at a very crucial time where finals footy is around the corner. And, well, like we said, a few weeks ago, we didn't even think about Brisbane fighting for a final spot. And now they're sitting in 9th position, hoping that the Tigers beat the Raiders and that they win this weekend so they can make it into the finals. It's crazy. And look,
it ain't going to happen.
Exactly. There's no excuses that Brisbane, that Kevin Walters can make other than we've just been playing bad footy. That's what it comes down to. They've just turned a blind eye on how to play, and well, it's cost them. It's cost them now the finals. And again, now this is 3 years where Brisbane have not made finals, and this was the year we thought it was going to be a difference for them. But obviously, they still can't do one simple thing, and that's play consistent footy. So no excuses other than they've been playing shit.
What about you, Hainesy? The Broncos, what do you believe has happened to them in the last month that's caused this massive drop-off?
Well, there's a lot of things. I think the most notable one was the loss of Paddy Carrigan for 4-week suspension. I think the question is going to be asked, who's more reliable at that club? Is it everyone was saying Payne Haas? They can't win without Payne Haas, and they managed to weigh the win without him this year. But all of a sudden now Pat Carrigan's out of the side, and they've gone downhill. I think the Tigers' loss a few weeks ago was the stroke that broke the camel's back. The loss against the Roosters, I don't think they played too poorly. I think just the Roosters were too good on that occasion. They weren't impressive against Newcastle. They should have put them to the sword. However, Newcastle didn't. They kept coming at them, and that wasn't their best performance. And then the last 2 weeks, they played some quality opposition in Melbourne and Parramatta, and put 60 on them against Melbourne, which I knew sort of accept that was going to happen because Melbourne have a good record against the Broncos, especially up there. So I didn't think put 60 on them. And then the confidence is just shot. So, and then it just rolled onto this week against Parramatta. And then all of a sudden, especially, I'm the only New South Welshman that lives in Queensland out of these, I believe. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that's correct.
Nick, to your extent that you live in northern New South Wales, so you might get some Gold Coast kind of news. I'm not too sure, but
yeah,
in Brisbane, the talk of the town on the news, especially, was that the Broncos are 1 win away from securing top 8. They're going to make the top 4. How good the Broncos have been, and then all of a sudden they got no answers to that. And it's beautiful. All the Broncos fans have all gone, and they've gone and they're hiding over the last month or so because they've just played.
Oh no!
Oh my God, no!
It can happen. He will be back. It happens. But look, I think Haynes is pretty much on the money with what he just said.
Yeah. I agree.
What about you, CJ? The Broncos. What's happened to the poor?
Yeah,
coach?
like Haynesy said, I think the loss of Paddy Carrigan with his suspension has really hurt them. I think it's shown now that he's such an important part of the team. But another thing I want to bring up is what Darren Lockyer said. I think the winning type of way got to their head and they took some opponents too lightly. And I think that's where it came in against teams like the West Tigers. They took it too lightly, got too complacent. And the funny thing also is that they filmed finals promos for the Broncos, but not the Raiders. So I find that, pretty ironic. But what went wrong with them? I think just what Darren Lockyer said. Success went to their head. And
You know what I reckon happened,
lazy.
mate? The Broncos?
Yep.
They lack mental toughness. I think that's one of the biggest problems I have. They rely so heavily on Adam Reynolds. Yes, they have won games without Reynolds, but they've relied so heavily on him. If he has a bad game, Brisbane don't win many of their games. They have been lacking after Origin. They have been hurt after Origin. But resting all your players for one game isn't going to hurt them. I mean, the game against Newcastle a few weeks back, they were horrible that game. If they had just rested some of their superstar players, this mightn't have happened. They are limping. That now, if they somehow get into the top 8, which I'd be shocked if they did now, they're fucked week 1. They'll be playing Roosters, Storm, or Eels, or South, and they're fucked either way. They're fucked. They won't beat either of them. So
They don't deserve to make it either, regardless.
No,
they don't deserve to make it.
They don't now.
After their performances, they do not deserve to play finals. And the Raiders have won like 6 of their last 7, so they've got every right to play finals.
And look, I suppose the other thing is as well, I've been to a lot of their games this year. I was at the Tigers game where they played and they were terrible there. I was at that game the other night against Parramatta. That was some of the worst tackling attempts I've ever seen from my life. Thomas Flegler missed some of the easiest tackles in front of me. I'm going, what is this bloke doing? Fucking Ryan James. Who else was out there the other night? They had fucking some of their missed tackles the other night was laughable, honestly. I'm going, what's happened to them? Their tackle techniques are terrible. They can't tackle anyone for their life. Junior Paulo looked like fucking Glenn Lazarus out there the other night. I'm going, what are they doing? They can't even tackle him. Mitchell Moses was playing like Peter Sterling. They were untouchable the other night, Parramatta. Brisbane are a weak. They are a team that have no mental toughness, and they are horrible. And let me just say as well, this is what happens when you don't recruit a good number 9. This is what happens. You need a good number 9. And Billy Walters, he's not the answer. Jake Turpin, he's not the answer. Corey Pace is a good kid, but they don't have that genuine organising number 9 that every good team has. You look at the good teams, Melbourne, Harry Grant. Roosters, they've got Watson and Verrills. They got South's got Cook. Penrith have got Coruscant. Cowboys have got Robson. All these Reed Moneys at Parramatta, they've all got good number 9s. So that's another problem I think I have too.
So Nick, you mentioned that Brisbane lack a strong mentality. Could the reason for that being how young the Brisbane side is? It's a pretty young side with not a lot of veterans in the team. You got Oates and you got Reynolds.
Yes, but I think the other thing is as well is no one's talking about this. I reckon Brisbane are reading their own papers. I reckon they're reading the headlines.
So
I reckon they are.
Got to the head.
They can't handle the criticism. Is that what you're saying?
They don't know what criticism is, because if you say something to one of the young players, you weren't that good in the weekend, they can't handle that shit.
I think they over succeeded this year too. Like, I think they were thinking, how life is that we made the top 4. We're making the top 4. We're in the 8, and where we were last year. And I think they've got that cockiness into them, and I think they've been given back down to earth. It was funny. I was also at the game on Thursday night. Sorry to get to see you, Nick. We left about 20 minutes early because
so did I. I was out of there at half.
I had enough of it. Like it as a neutral, it was boring. And I'm walking down the stairs with my mates, and all these guys are sitting there like, the Broncos fans are going on. I turn around, I'm not a fucking Broncos fan. I'm just sick of this bullshit. but how all the Broncos fans just pick up and start leaving, it's nothing better. But and the class out as one of those fans, it was a bit embarrassing. The class as a Broncos fan walking out of the ground 20 minutes early, like they normally do. Yeah, it wasn't great. but yeah, look, the Broncos need a miracle to get in. I'd say
They're fucked. They're
they've
fucked.
got to rely on a dirty merger to beat Canberra.
And I'll be honest with you,
So-
boys. Obviously, we'll get to the tips later on, but they won't even beat the Dragons this weekend. That's how horrible the Broncos are.
Wow.
Look,
It's fair.
in context for the weekend, I hope the Broncos do just to make the last game of the season interesting.
Yeah,
but
make it interesting. The last
I
game,
can't.
man.
I can't see it happening. I can't see their confidence going from low to high in a week just to make final.
All right, boys. I'll ask you this last question.
see how we
Last
go.
question on this, but I want to move on. If the Broncos win because Carrigan's back, does that make them a one-man team or what?
If they're a one-man team, it's because of Reynolds. It's because of Reynolds.
Okay.
I wouldn't say a one-man team, but a big influence.
Definitely, 100%. All right, topic number 4. Now, this got me so fucking wild on Saturday night. I was losing my shit. I grabbed my Woodstock can and threw the can. I was going off my head. Cohen Hess has been suspended for a fucking head clash on Rabbitohs centre Campbell Graham. Now, if you watched the Rabbitohs Cowboys game on Saturday night at where was it, ANZ Stadium there was about 8 minutes to go. Cowboys were down 14-10. Cowboys are the forwards are looking for a big moment, a big hit for like a momentum shifter, fire them up. Cohen Hess, head clash with Campbell Graham. He got sin bin for it. He's now been charged and he will miss a week of football. Now, I think this is an absolute fucking disgrace. I reckon this is very similar to the Dale Finucane one. Finucane got a week, well, what did he get? 2 weeks for a head clash, and Crichton's ear got half cut off. Campbell Graham's not playing this week because of concussion protocols. Seriously, boys, a head clash, a sin bin for a head clash. I mean, are we serious about this? I mean, I'm not saying that it cost the Cowboys the game the other night, but it was a fucking dumb call. It changed the game. CJ, you're a South supporter. We spoke about it on the Saturday Night Football review, but
Yeah.
Cohen S getting a week for a head clash on Rabbitohs player Campbell Graham, that's going to be a joke, right?
Yeah, even as a South fan, I can agree. I wouldn't have sin bin him at all. A penalty at most, if anything. For a head clash to be a sin binable offence, it's a joke. I don't think Cohen Hess should miss any weeks. Look, it's a clear head clash. It was a good shot, if anything.
It was an accident too.
Obviously wasn't intentional, and I don't think he should be missing any weeks. No way in the world. If that's a sin bin, then I'm scared for what the game holds in the future.
Yeah, I do too. And CHAMPA, you play on the weekends, bro. You know all about these fucking accidental head clashes. You play every week. What are your thoughts on this shit?
Fucking soft. A head clash and you get suspended for it? Are you serious?
I would have challenged.
What are you supposed to do in the situation? I understand if you get suspended for an accidental forearm or an accidental high shot, I understand that. But as a head clash, what are you supposed to do? Your head's there. You can't physically move your head out of the way of the opposition's head. It was a good shot that was ruined by a terrible call, and now he's getting suspended for it? Seriously, that's
Ridiculous.
Soft. What?
Ridiculous.
I'm just going to keep asking the question. What is Cohen Hess supposed to do in that situation? What is he supposed to do to try and avoid a head clash?
He's going at full speed as well. It's not like he can slow down and pull out of it. I mean, he's going for a big hit. There was no intent for a high tackle. There was no intent to take his head off. Just a complete accident that went wrong. Now, before I get HAYNESY and ProEnzo's opinion, I just want to go to the live chat for a moment. We've got a $5 super chat here from our good friend, Mr. Lachlan. He says, "Hey, all out champion, my favorite person because of the name Lachlan. How are you? Good luck on Sunday. Also, hello, Nick from Australia and the other guests." Well, Mr. Lachlan, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it, my friend. It means a lot.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Lachlan.
Well done. Very good, Conrad.
HAYNESY, what did you make of this head clash suspension?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see much of the South Cowboys game because I was on the plane home from Melbourne to the Gold Coast. I think one thing that pointed out, Dale Finucane, who was recently suspended for the same thing, came out and said it's going to come to a time that people rushing out of the line is going to be banned from doing it. You know, so I think that's what's coming. It's coming. like the people trying to rush out of the line to put a shot on, and the first thing they're going to do is blow a penalty for A, offside, or B, dangerous contact. And the fact that he's getting suspended for it is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
And I think is this true that, like I said, I haven't watched 100% of the game. Is it true that Cohen Hess was like concussed and Campbell Graham was concussed as well, but Campbell Graham didn't have to come off, but now he's out this week?
Yeah, that's
Like,
dumb. And
which
that
is
is
double
a poor
standards
look.
there. If it's a head clash, if their heads collided, they're both going to have the same kind of injury kind of thing, and yet nothing happened to Campbell Graham, even though like it's not going to change any of the fact that he's off the field or not. But it's just a double standards there. If he got sin bin, but if he's going to be but yeah,
Well, bro,
kind of
it's
thing.
a poor
If he's
look
going to
as
be
well because it's a poor look as well because if you think about it, if Campbell Graham's not getting taken off and Cohen Hess has concussed himself, it's such a poor look for the game. And why was Campbell Graham allowed to stay on the field? He got hit in the head.
Well, that's 100%. Like it's the same contact. It's head on head.
And there was
so
8 minutes
both
to
have
go in
the
the
same.
game too, bro. There was 8 minutes to go, and he was still out there.
100%. But now he's out this week, so it's a stuff up by the NRL Broncos is concerned, and they've always stopped the game for no reason to get him off the field. But yet they seemed that one was deemed okay to continue, even though you can see Cohen Hess, the one who was at fault apparently, was stumbling before getting pushed by Latrell Mitchell. So
yeah, exactly.
So
it's just stupid, man. Like I don't know
the double standards there. It's double standards there. What because the guy.
Now I know a lot of people don't like Todd Payton because he has said a few things this year in the press conference. Todd Payton has come out and said a couple of things. Some people label him as a whinger, but if you're an NRL coach and you don't stand up for your fucking teammate for something like that, where it shouldn't have even been a fucking penalty, then it's ridiculous because Todd Payton should have went to they should have challenged this, the Cowboys. I'm telling you. I don't know why they didn't. Because he would have missed week one of the finals. That's why I didn't do it. But
yeah, the smart decision just to take the early guilty plea.
If this was round 20 or round 15, they would have challenged it for sure. But
100%.
It's just fucked, honestly. Cohen Hess is a very important part of our forward pack, so we need him. So it's just ridiculous that he's been suspended for this. And ProEnzo, I'll get your take on it lastly, mate. Do you have any different opinions on this with Cohen Hess?
No, not at all. I relate to what everyone's said so far. I think it was an absolute joke that he got suspended. Obviously, I had to rewatch Seahawks and Cowboys because I was at Cronulla and Dogs last Saturday. But
don't watch it, bro. Don't watch it. Trust me. Don't watch it.
I watched the part there where the head clash happened, and yeah, it was a dead set head clash. You can't be suspended for that. I don't know when the rule book it says that you're missing a week or whatever for a head clash because it's clearly not intentional. It's an accident. And that's what's always been a head clash. So, look, it's an absolute joke, and I feel bad for Hess.
Can anybody explain to me how can you be sin bin for a deliberate head clash? Like, really?
Well, Dylan Napa, 2018 against the Broncos, got sin bin twice in the same year for doing the same tackle.
I do remember that tackle.
Remember it clear as day against the Broncos. It was level at the time, and he comes out of the line, and Corbin Sim, I think it was Corbin. One of the Sims brothers changes his line and got Dylan Napa off balance, and unfortunately, he literally all contact was from his head, and the fact that he led with his head, he just got wrong-footed, and he got. I think that's what the start of it was. That he got sin bin for that, and in the corresponding game in round 23, I think he got the same. He did the same thing. Got same thing. Head clash. Got sin bin. And he was out for 5 weeks and almost missed. I think his first game back was the grand final. So I think that was the start of it, and it's really. But all of a sudden we've had people trying to with contact with the head and independent doctors, all that kind of stuff, trying to get involved in the sport, and. Collisions in sport are always going to happen. And every sport, even in soccer, for example, there's going to be head clashes. So,
that
the fact that because ours is a tough and contact sport, but we've been trying to black and white any contact to the head, and they're just sending them off for the wrong reasons, and it's becoming a joke now.
It's just ridiculous. It really is. Let's go to topic number 3 now. And,
here we go.
This will be good. If you have children that watch the podcast and they're under the age
Go to
of
bed
16,
now. Go to bed
put them
now.
to bed.
Go to bed
Put them to
now.
bed now. Put them to bed now. Fuck
Go
you.
to bed now.
This could get out of hand pretty quickly. Topic number 3.
Yeah.
The beautiful Allianz Stadium reopens Friday night. Should Souths move there full time, you can call it Allianz Sydney Football Stadium. I've always known it as the SFS Sydney Football Stadium, but it's now called Allianz because of sponsors and all that, banks and all that sort of situation. We're going to start with CJ on this one. Then we're going to get to HAYNESY because this could get interesting. CJ, you're a Rabbitohs fan.
Yep.
You guys play all of your home games at ANZ Stadium.
Yep.
What do you reckon, mate? Should South move to Allianz full time, or would you rather stay at ANZ Stadium?
Well, let's hope my connection doesn't cut out when I'm explaining this. Yeah, I'd like to move to Allianz full time for a few reasons, actually. Well, when you look at the proximity of Moore Park, although it's classed as an area in the eastern suburbs, it's actually closer to Redfern than Bondi. So I do class it in the South Sydney district. We're closer to there than we are to ANZ. And look, I think, if you're going to build something in our own backyard, it's only fair that we get to have some sort of use with it. So, I mean, you're going to build it, right down the road from our juniors club. We've got to have some sort of distribution with it. And I think it's only fair that if you're going to build a $800 million new super stadium near us, we should have the right to play there.
Well, what do you reckon, HAYNESY? Obviously, you're going to say no, but would you be?
I love the CJ's point. I love to see the CJ's point that he goes, it's their area. Well, east of Anzac Parade is eastern suburbs. I don't know why South claim that Moore Park is South's territory. East of Anzac Parade is. It 100% is. You want to take you claim Coogee now as well.
Coogee, but that's wrong, right? You also claim Coogee, but that's not right.
No, you guys claim Coogee now, but look, South Sydney had the right to. They decided to leave Allianz when they first come back into the comp. They left Allianz. They went to a core stadium for better reasons. But unfortunately, that the Roosters had about majority of their money went towards the new stadium being built, even though it was by the New South Wales government. But majority of the influence by Rich Uncle Nick, the brown paper bags under the table, was to get the new stadium done. Mate, Russell Crowe will never be a Nick Politis. Let's just say that right now.
Nick Politis, what is he, a drug cartel owner? How does he get this?
Oh, here we go. Look, but yeah, look, I understand why South want to move in there. It is close to the area. But however, it is in Roosters' heartland. And, the Roosters, it's their stadium. It's always been their stadium. We've never left that patch of dirt since we've started in 1908. From the Sydney Sports Ground. At the time, we did move next door to the SCG in that time when the Sydney Football Stadium was getting built. And when the Sydney Football Stadium was open, that was always our home ground as well. And then when the SFS was getting redone, we moved the SCG next door. So it's always been part of that patch of dirt since we started in 1908. We haven't moved anywhere. So I think, it's only fair that we have every right to disallow South being in there. And again, I understand why that they want it. Exactly. Well, it's not our stadium. We share it with the Waratahs and we share it with Sydney FC. But as a rugby league point of view, it is a NRL stadium. And people might also think, but you guys share it with the Eels, share it with the Bulldogs and the Tigers. The difference is they wouldn't allow Penrith there because it's their biggest rivals there, and it'd be like if, for example, even though I don't know why the Broncos, I think they're allowing the Dolphins there, but it's completely different. This is, this is the closest, biggest rivalry in our game. It's the closest areas as well. We share pretty much the same areas, pretty much. So again, like trying to be unbiased as I can here. I understand why South want to move in there. A cool stadium. I've been there this year for my stadium challenge. It's not. Like, I love being as a grand final, great atmosphere, Origin, great atmosphere, but as a South game, you're so far away from the action. There's not
100% agree. I can back you up on that too.
I'd be all in if the government pulled their finger out their ass. If they can redo Redfern Oval, that'd be good for the area for the Rabbitohs
Yeah,
as well.
that'd actually be really nice. And if that was to happen,
if they I think they aren't you guys doing like a centre of excellence at Kingswood or something like that near the League and South Juniors? I'm not sure, but if they do like a 20-seat stadium at South Sydney. Oh, in Roosters Heartland as well. Very good.
Randwick, nah, that's wrong.
Yeah,
that's wrong as well.
you're gonna claim Randwick as well. Well, what? We're just gonna be Bondi only. Fair enough.
You can have Kings Cross, Edgecliff, and Bondi.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The cross.
I agree with HAYNESY on the part with ANZ Stadium because me and CJ and CHAMPA, we went to South's Tigers back in May at ANZ Stadium, and there was about 13,000 there, which wasn't too bad, but you want to see the ground more full. You don't want to see a bunch of empty seats. And if Rabbitohs did go to Allianz, they would probably average about 15 to 18,000 a game, maybe even more. Because I think Allianz is now 43,000 people.
It's actually gone less. So the old stadium was 44.5. Now it's gone to 42.
Okay, well
it's not going to make a difference. Like in all seriousness, though, we're not going to sell the place out every week. Only come finals time is that we're going to have decent crowds there. So
yeah,
it doesn't make a difference.
Big teams, I guess.
Big games like even against South, we'll have a big crowd there. Like as it's shown, it's going to be sold out on Friday night.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be there. Like flying down tomorrow night.
I'm ready.
Yeah, me and CJ are going to be there. Can't wait for it. I bought my tickets in when they first come out in June or July.
Smart,
and I've been like frothing at the bit to get there, and just counting down the weeks. Like I enjoyed. Did you see the? I did like a bit of a review after our last game at the SCG against the Tigers, and I walked around Allianz, and just the stadium looks so beautiful from the outside.
It looks nice. I've seen those few videos and shit.
It's amazing, and literally can't wait to be there. And it's going to be. Can't wait to call it home, and South can keep the South scums off Allianz. It's ours. It's ours. You watch fucking Alpo will be like, I'm the Prime Minister. What I say goes, and we'll get South into
I
can see it happening.
Albo's taking
but Albo hasn't met a Nick Politis yet, so hopefully Uncle Nick does the right thing and keeps him out. Apparently South were trying to have a captain's run there today. Tomorrow, and the Roosters have said no. Like, fuck off! You're not having a captain's run there. And and South are complaining about it. It's like it's not a fucking finals game. It's a round 25 clash at our home stadium.
Yeah, right.
If it was a grand if it was a finals game, I'd completely understand. Yeah, you want to get us about a fucking normal round clash, and you want to fucking have a captain's run there.
Why have you built it in our area?
East of Anzac Parade has always been our area. We've played at Moore Park since 1908.
No, it hasn't.
That same precinct we've played there since 1908.
We got to move on. ProEnzo, Vidz, I want your opinion quickly on this. Should South move to Allianz full time, or should they stay at ANZ Stadium?
Look, personally, the way I see it, I think that they should have separate stadiums. I think that Allianz is pretty much for me anyway. It's always been for the Roosters from my time watching Rugby League, and as for South, like they obviously moved to a call for the better, I suppose. But I guess part time they can take some games there. But I think for me it just works better if Allianz was matched with the Roosters, and I think South at a call. I think it works probably financially and probably just better for them as well in general. I'd say so.
People they want to talk about area. I grew up in the area, so I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. So I just want to point that out.
Yeah. All right, CHAMPA, just quickly, mate. Should South move to Allianz, or should they stay at the SFS?
I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short and sweet. It's the Roosters' home ground, and it's going to stay the Roosters' home ground.
Yeah, but we'll draw more of a crowd, so that's just the truth.
I don't see why South want to come to a stadium recently.
Do you know
after it
they built the stadium literally 5 minutes away from our juniors area?
It's not your home ground. It's not your home ground.
It will be our home ground. Just you wait and see.
No.
All right. My thoughts, Nick. It's the Roosters' home ground, and it should stay the Roosters' home ground.
All right, just quickly before we move on, I'm gonna say I reckon South should move to Allianz. I just think you get better crowds there. ANZ Stadium should only be used for big events like Origin, finals, grand final. Let South move to Allianz. Just work around the fixtures. It might be tough, but if I was
You guys
South,
get- We'll allow you to go to the SCG. You can go to the SCG. The fucking shit.
Well, I was just gonna say the same thing. If I was the Rabbitohs, I'd have 4 games at Allianz, 4 games at between ANZ and SCG, and take 2 or 3 games to the Central Coast. That way they spread out a little bit. But why not?
Like,
That's just what I reckon.
but the only concern is like why all of a sudden now they've had 4 years about this new stadium being built, and all of a sudden they want to move in now when it's ready. So why haven't you wanted to move in like 5 years ago when the old Allianz was there? It's all of a sudden it was like, oh, the Roosters got a new stadium now. We got to match whatever they've got. That's what I see it. They're just trying to beat the Roosters everything that we've got. So that they can rot in Homebush if all I care.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
And we'll see who's rotting. We'll see who's rotting on Friday.
Topic number 2.
What one premiership in 50 years? I'm pretty sure.
Joey Manu's cheekbone. How about that?
Enough.
Trail fat.
Let's move on. Topic number 2.
Fucking please.
Who has been the most disappointing NRL coach of 2022? I know coaches get criticised a lot, and some of them deserve it. Some of them don't deserve it. In all seriousness, I want to start with you first on this one, ProEnzo Vidz. Who's been the most disappointing coach this season?
So I got my head wrapped around 2 actually. I think for me it's either O'Brien or it's either Hasler in my opinion. Look, I know that obviously a lot of things happened for Manly this year, losing Tom and everything, but I'm gonna say Des, like personally as a Manly fan, I really think he should be doing a lot more. That's just me anyway. I think just because that we had him top 4 last year, obviously with heaps of expectations for the next season and that, and obviously losing Tom doesn't help, but you know, I hate the fact that we have to center our attack and have to center our team around him. You know, it's his job to sort of make other players accountable, not just him. So I understand that he's done pretty good with us in the past, but it's just disappointing that, you know, the inconsistency is still happening. Like 1 year in finals, next year we're not there. 1 year in finals, next year we're not there. And that's all been under Des so far. So I just question his inconsistency of the team and just, you know, especially coming top 4 now, finishing nearly bottom 4. I just think he's up there for me.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit. I think it's a bit harsh. I think it's a bit. Yeah, sorry, Nick. I think it's a bit harsh that. It's a bit harsh that Des Hasler's getting all the criticism and how they're saying that he should be sacked for. Like Manly have had a lot of things that have gone wrong against him this year.
Yeah,
like,
it's more.
There's been a lot. Like there's been injuries to Tommy Turbo. Like their best player. Like we all know how good Tommy Turbo is.
Best in the world when he's not injured, eh?
We've had the incident with the jersey, the Pride jersey that derailed their season as well. So that hasn't helped. And then on top of that, you know, more injuries as well. So you got to give Des a little bit of credit there. Look, full strength side, Manly will be a top 8 side next year. So I think it's a bit harsh. So yeah, I don't think Des has been the worst coach. It's just been a unlucky season for Manly.
All that CHAMPA, who do you reckon has been the most disappointing coach this season?
Well, yeah, Des would be probably a very popular opinion, but I'm going to go Justin Holbrook from the Titans. Now, the Titans coming into this season, we're always going to have it tough. They snuck into the finals last year, but look, with the qualities that Justin Holbrook has when he was at his time in Super League, I really thought he should have did more to at least take the Titans away from bottom 4 and at least, you know, make them a top 8 contender. They have players there that can take them to the top 8. We've seen it last year. It's just he's failed to get this team to play consistently. The chemistry there is poor, and I feel like his selection sometimes for a team roster is pretty woeful. So Holbrook is a quality coach, but this season it's just been shocking this year, and now. Yeah. They just avoid the spoon, but I don't know whether it's Holbrook needs to leave the Titans or the Titans need to let go of Holbrook. But whatever it is, I feel like Justin Holbrook has been the most disappointing coach this year.
CJ, what about yourself?
For me, it's Newcastle Knights coach Adam O'Brien. You can't really blame him as a coach, though. He's lost players like Mitchell Pearce and all that. But I did expect the Knights to do a bit better this season. Oh, not a bit better, but I didn't expect him to go to that low on the table, on the ladder. The Knights, they made 2 consecutive final series, so I expected them to be at least up for the fight. And when they went 2-0 at the start of the year, it looked like there was a bit of hope for him. But for me, it's Adam O'Brien, because we know that he can be a better coach. For me, it's Adam O'Brien. I just think I did expect more out of him this year.
Yeah, fair enough. Hainesy, what about you, mate?
Yeah, I would agree. Adam O'Brien has been terrible for Newcastle. They've just shown nothing all season, especially after the positive signs that they've had the last 2 seasons making finals. But unfortunately, I had to say Adam O'Brien, disappointing season for Newcastle, finishing 14th. Justin Holbrook as well has been terrible. I think, Nick, you would enjoy that Titans downfall. Also, another mention would be Anthony Griffin for the Dragons. They've
Really?
once again they've missed
That's
out on the
fair.
8. They've missed out on the 8 again. They were in a good position. And once again, at the start of the year, they were starting well. They even beat the Roosters on Anzac Day. I think they beat Manly a few weeks ago. That had them in the top 8. But once again, they fell off a cliff and they missed out. They've missed out on the 8. Once again, it's been first. Haven't made the 8 since 2018. And how long has Griffin been there since? 2020? Is it 2020?
Yeah, I think he's been there.
So
for
he's been
2
there for nearly
years,
3 years,
yeah.
and haven't improved at all. So they're still around that same spot. So no improvement. So I'm going to say disappointing
I'm
again
going to
for
go.
Anthony Griffin.
Oh, look, it's a few coaches got sacked, which makes it hard for me to mention Michael Maguire and all those sort of guys. But I've got to go Justin Holbrook. The Titans, they made the finals last year. They were a pass away from beating the Roosters in the elimination final. They've choked the season out. Some people had them in the top 8 at the start of the year. Some people had them around that 8 to 12 position. They are second last. They just avoid the wooden spoon. They've done well to avoid the wooden spoon. I thought they were going to win it for a long time. How do you go from top 8 to fucking 15, 5 wins and 18 losses? That's just so poor. I know they are a young team. I understand that. But when you're going to pay guys like David Fafita $1 million a season and you're going to rely on a fullback to play halves and a halfback who hasn't even played 40 NRL games to carry her, you're going to have a long year. So Holbrook's gone backwards. He did well a couple of years ago to get the Titans from bottom 4 to top 8 and whatever, but they're a shambles, the Titans. They are terrible. They are a terrible, terrible team. So Justin Holbrook's my disappointing coach of the year for mine.
Good. Holbrook's a great coach, but just wrong club.
Yeah, he's a good coach. It's just been a bad year. Yeah. He'll be back. I think he's a good coach. He'll be back. And topic number 1, fellas. Now, how would you schedule the NRL finals for week 1? Now, here's the thing, fellas. Based off my ladder predictor that I've got, every finals game in week 1 will be in Sydney. Now, you got to try and schedule it the best way you can because the finals are going to be Friday, Saturday, two on the Saturday and 1 on the Sunday. So you got to try and work out how you're going to schedule the final series. I want to start with you first, ProEnzo Vidz. Are all your finals games in Sydney or no?
Well, it depends how the ladder's outlined, but I think so far it has to be. That's just me, but obviously won't look good if there's no finals game in Queensland or anywhere like that. But again, like I said, it just depends how the ladder outlines, I suppose.
Well, boys, I'll tell you what I'll do. This is what I've got because I've done my ladder predictor and what I've tipped this weekend. So this is what the schedule for me looks like. I've got Panthers playing Storm at Penrith. I've got Rabbitohs playing the Raiders at ANZ Stadium. I've got Eels playing the Roosters at CommBank Stadium. And I've got the Sharks playing the Cowboys at Shark Park. So this is what I would do, fellas. Friday night, I would have 1 versus 4. So Panthers play the Storm at Penrith on the Friday night. Saturday afternoon at like 4 o'clock kickoff, I would have the Sharks versus the Cowboys. 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon at Shark Park. Then at night time at 7:50 at ANZ Stadium, I would have the Rabbitohs playing the Raiders at ANZ Stadium. And on the Sunday, I would have the Eels and the Roosters out at CommBank Stadium. That's what I would do. Because I think there's about a 1 hour gap between ANZ Stadium and Shark Park. So
Yeah, about that. An hour or two, yeah.
I genuinely don't believe you can't have one finals game at ANZ and CommBank the same day. I just think that'd be too difficult. So Friday night, Panthers and Storm at Penrith. Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, you have Sharks and Cowboys at Shark Park. Saturday night, you have Rabbitohs play Raiders at ANZ Stadium. And then on a Sunday afternoon, you have Parramatta versus the Roosters Sunday afternoon. That's what I would do anyway. That's how I think it should be. But do you guys agree with that, or would you change it up a little bit?
Yeah, I do agree. I think it's just the teams for me. I think it'll be a bit different.
Yeah. Hainesy, what do you reckon?
On who's playing who. If Sharks are allowed to play at Shark Park,
They
I
are,
reckon
bro.
they'll have the
They've been
Sunday
given
elimination
they've been
final.
given the all clear. They've been given the all clear.
They're getting the all clear. Well, yeah, that's good. That's good to see. Good to see. If not, if something changes, I wouldn't mind a double header at Allianz Stadium. Just say if the Roosters
Aye.
finish 5th or 6th, they get a home final. We could have a double header. We have the Sharks Cowboys game first, and then a massive elimination final between potentially the two biggest rivals in the game again. A week later would be a sellout again with
That'd be crazy.
some cracking footy. I wouldn't mind to see a double header. We saw a double header last year in Townsville with Roosters Titans and Panthers Rabbitohs, which was a good success.
100%.
Which was good there. I was at that watching the boys beat the Titans. So I was at that, and it was good. It was good to see both teams, the 4 teams of footy there in Townsville. It was good vibe, and I wouldn't mind seeing that again this year. But like you said, is at Shark Park? I'd say that. So in my ladder predictor, I've gone the same thing. Penrith play Melbourne. Week 1, the first game. The second game would be Sharks. Sharks and Cowboys. The first game. I've got the Roosters to play the Raiders in the second elimination final on the Saturday, and finish off with Eels Rabbitohs on the Sunday afternoon at CommBank.
We've got the exact same, but I think we got the one difference is that Rabbitohs Roosters game. I've actually got Souths winning, so that's why I've got Souths Canberra and Eels Roosters. But just a question for you, Hainesy. Sharks and Cowboys, if they play, which I think they will, that would be better off being on the Saturday, wouldn't it? Like, because the Cowboys fans aren't going to be able to get down there on the Friday, would they? It'd be too hard for them. Be too hard. Cowboys fans wouldn't even be able to get down there for the Friday, so Cowboys would have to play Saturday or Sunday, you'd think. But Champa, Lorenzo, what do you reckon?
You go first, Champa.
I was just going to say, look, with your ladder predictor, Nick, I 100% agree with the lineup, the fixture you have, as well as where they should be played. I feel like it would be great to see most of the games in different stadiums. And look, I like what I think it was what Hainesy said, a double header at Allianz. I reckon that would be all right as well. But I like your ladder predictor, Nick. I think that will work very well, especially just with everything you said.
Well, the other thing I want to mention as well is if the Sharks were not allowed to play at Shark Park, a double header at ANZ would have been all right. Imagine Souths playing Canberra at ANZ and Sharks and Cowboys. I mean, I don't think ANZ would sell out, but you'd get at least 60,000, 70,000 there, I reckon. I reckon if you had a double header.
Build it up, yeah.
Good promotion.
Be at least 50,000, wouldn't it?
That'd be a big one.
It'd have to be.
Because, like,
Yeah.
which game
is it? Which game is it?
So I've got Sharks playing Cowboys and Rabbitohs and Raiders. Like, if I had a double header at ANZ, that wouldn't be bad.
I don't think you'll have big enough like 50 or 60. I think if it's a standalone South game, they'll get over 20 plus.
Yeah.
But I don't think a double header would work at a core stadium, especially for the Sharks fans. You know, coming from the Shire to Homebush would be a nightmare. So, but if South Sydney have a standalone game, the South supporters, I know they'll turn up. Like both our clubs, we normally start arriving up in finals time. So South will definitely have a big crowd at the core stadium if they do get a home final. And
just a question for you, fellas, just quickly. If Penrith do play Melbourne or Parramatta, do you think Penrith should be the Friday night game, regardless?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
you start with the minor
Sure.
premiers on the Friday night. 100%.
for sure.
Yeah. Because
I
I have to tell you
I
guys
think that-
something.
yeah.
I've got to tell you guys something. It's a risky move from me. I've already booked flights. I've already booked accommodation. I'm going to Sharks and Cowboys. I swear to Jesus, if we beat Penrith and Newcastle beat the Sharks, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
I can't see. I
You
can't
guys
see
have a
that.
very, very, very good chance of beating the Panthers.
We will beat Penrith because I got no one playing, but Sharks, they can't lose to Newcastle.
Do Cronulla have a? Who have Cronulla got in their side? Have they changed?
Everyone.
They're playing everybody.
They're
They're
full
all
strength.
playing.
Okay, yeah. Sharks put the Newcastle to the sword, I think.
Well, just a question.
We hope
like,
so.
I'm going down there for it. As long, if we end up in Townsville, I'm canceling my flight. I'm not going. I'm telling you.
I'll take your
Would you
flight.
Yeah, I'll fucking cancel the bastards. Would you have Sharks Cowboys on the Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Right?
Saturday night.
Yeah, I'd have Saturday. I have Saturday.
Yeah, because I think you want Parramatta and Roosters and Rabbitohs and Raiders to be different days. You don't want it on the same day.
Yeah, I reckon close the round with the elimination finals.
Yeah,
It'd be more interesting.
I agree.
Imagine Eels Roosters as an elimination final Sunday afternoon at CommBank. Can you imagine that?
I
That'd be
can
wild.
see that being
That'd be massive.
Saturday. Yeah.
We'll
Yeah, it'll be a sellout at CommBank. If it's at CommBank, yeah, it'll be a sellout. There'll be a lot. Parramatta supporters have 30,000 members, so they'll sell the place out.
100%. All right, let's move on. It's time for the Breakdown Podcast Game Show. This is going to be interesting. 4 participants.
The champs
Now,
got beat last week. I was there on the live, listening to that.
I seen
So
that.
I saw the rage quit. So
I need redemption.
I saw the rage quit. Like
We've
the
got
champ
some
get beat.
odds. We've got some odds via NickBet here, and we're going to get them up on the screen right now. And
NickBet, gamble responsibly, lads.
the odds are out of control. Look at the odds. ProEnzo
Oh,
Vidz
pressure.
$1.90. All that
Such
champ
pressure.
$5. CJ Moxley $7.
$10
Hainesy at
That's the
$10.
value.
Who are the
Value.
punters and Nick Bet?
The pressure's on.
ProEnzo $1.90. Are you kidding me? I should be the favourite.
Fuck
yes.
sports bet. We've got NickBet. Gamble responsibly, lads.
NickBet's the way to go, fellas. Sports
Load
betting
up on the
sucks,
Hayne
that
plane
one.
here.
All right, I'll tell you
No, the
what.
reason I'm there, but pressure's on.
Chat,
Now-
DM me the answers.
I am the leader of this game show. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to throw $10 on Hainesy at $10. I think that's juicy.
Ooh.
Oh, some good value. Some good
Go on,
value.
man.
Pressure's on Lorenzo though at $1.90, very short price.
That's what I said, eh? Like, it's a lot of pressure on me.
I think Champa's a bit short, bit unfair at $5. He's the reigning champ after last week. I reckon he'd be closer than $5.
All right.
Exactly.
Some of
I
the
could
odds are unbelievable.
$3 for Champa.
No.
ProEnzo deserves to be the
Obviously.
favourite. He is the fastest one here, but I think
Right.
The biggest problem with Champa is he's inconsistent. You can't get a read on him. That's why it's $5.
He's like the Tigers.
just like,
You know
just
what?
like the Tigers. Yeah, it just sounds like
Me?
the Tigers.
Yeah.
Matches up well.
Me and my good friend Brett Hutchinson, we are going.
Oh, what's he
To
doing
win.
at England anyway?
That's why it won't get you anywhere.
Isn't Hodgson in the Tigers somewhere?
No, is that
The what?
Hollis?
Yeah, he's
Ah,
coaching
yeah,
whole
I'll see.
FC. He's struggling too. So
I heard that with
Don't
the
worry.
Tigers, they bring him like Scotty Prince back in.
Yeah.
It'll be good. Interesting.
I
how
know
it's
someone.
Anyway,
All right.
Brett
Everybody in
Hodges.
the live chat, you all should know the rules by now. Anyone gives away any answers in the chat, you'll be banned for 5 minutes, if not permanently. So no spoilers in the chat. All right.
Yeah.
First one to get 3 questions right is obviously the winner. So
Good here for a
here
while.
we go. Pressure is on everyone. Questions are at random. Question number 1. Hang on, what the fuck's happened to my fucking screen here? Playing up on me. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Fellas, who is wearing jersey number 13 for Manly this weekend?
Dylan Walker.
Hey, that's a good start.
Prime the
I
start.
Come on, is that even fair? It was
This
for
jersey
Manly.
Really?
start
Really?
Maybe quick.
Nova teams.
I thought he was
Hey,
out.
hey, hey.
Just need to be quick.
Wow.
Don't question the bear.
Who got that one?
ProEnzo.
ProEnzo. Yeah, fucking Manly questions. Are we surprised?
Just be quick.
Oh.
That's all. Be quick.
Brett
That's
Hodges
the
says
aim.
you're a fraud.
Let's go to
Lorenzo.
a Cowboys
Fraud.
question and we'll see how these all go.
Fraud.
All right. Who's wearing jersey number 17 for the Cowboys this weekend?
Griffin name.
Good for me.
CJ was quicker. CJ got that one.
Yeah, CJ.
Nice one.
Well done.
I was going to say Tanua Brown, but then
Well done, Moxley. Moxley's on the ball, so it's 1-1-0-0. Okay. Next question. On Saturday, 5:30, what is the fixture for this weekend?
Broncos Dragons.
Fucking hell.
Dragons Broncos would be the exact.
Yeah, that's
DJ's gonna win.
that's true.
CHAMPA,
that's
what the
true.
fuck are you doing there holding your fucking action?
Come
figure?
on, Brett Hodgson. Do something.
Come on, Brett Hodgson. He's trying to help me out here. Come on.
Doing as well.
It's not helping.
Is that hello? See what help you?
He's fucked.
Fucking get back from England.
All right, he said go. He said all of you go fuck yourself.
Wow.
CJ Moxley's on too. All right, boys. All right, next question. What was the score in round number 23 between the Eels and the Bulldogs?
42-12.
48-6.
CJ and Lorenzo said it at the exact same time, and I'm not going to count it, so we're going to go a new question.
Oh,
It was pretty fucking even. It was pretty even. All right, next question. Back in Manly Pride round, what was the score between Manly and Roosters?
2010.
22-12.
Again, it's just the same time between Hainesy and Lorenzo. I can't split you.
Give it to me, for fuck's sake.
I thought it was quick.
Oh, don't argue because it's just so hard. All right. Next question. Yeah, look, this one might be tough for you to answer. What was the score on Anzac Day between the Dragons and Roosters?
14-12.
14-12.
I'm pretty. Oh, who was
14-12.
I swear I said it. I swear.
Someone said 14-10. Someone said 14-10.
I don't
I
know.
said it. I said 14.
I said 14-12.
14-12.
I said 14-12.
Fuck it, new question. Usually too quick.
Fuck.
We've
right.
done our studying. We've done our
These are
studying.
good. These are all on tonight. Next
I
question.
remember that game.
Who
Terrible.
is currently 14th on the NRL ladder?
Warriors.
Newcastle.
Warriors.
Again,
Oh,
same
Warriors.
time
Fuck.
again.
Oh, what? Come
It was
on.
Warriors. Fuck.
These are all on the same time.
Oh,
All right.
come on.
Who is currently 6th on the NRL ladder?
Roosters.
Rabbitohs.
Oh, CJ wins.
Oh, it's Roosters. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Hainesy had it.
Fuck. I thought it was close to CJ. Fuck.
Oh,
Three.
fuck me. That was terrible.
That's a question that Hainesy should have got right.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Bugger me.
Good
All
shot.
right, CJ
Good
Moxley wins it.
I should have fucking
And-
hit the Roosters. Why did I say Rabbitohs? Why did I fucking say Rabbitohs? Oh, well. Well done, CJ.
And CJ Moxley at a juicy $7 is the winner.
Fuck, if you got it on CJ, that's $7.
Keno, good on you getting on me. Some of the other boys.
All right. We're going to get into the tips now for round 25 of the NRL. I think I was reading the chat. Paddy G said John Cena. I'm going, what the fuck? mad answer. All Hainesy just cut out, but I'm sure he will be back. CJ's the winner. Congratulations, mate.
Cheers. Always good to get on.
Champa and Hainesy did not get a single point.
I was close. I said Roosters at the end. But
Fucking last week, champion.
Shocking.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Absolutely shocking. Hainesy's here. I'm just getting his fucking connection. His damn bloody thing. All right. Here we go, boys. Let's go to the round of footy, and I'm just going to ask you who do you think's going to win, and just give me a margin, boys. So, final round of the season tomorrow night: Eels versus Storm. Who wins and by how much?
I'll go first. I've got Eels 1-12, and my first try score is going to be Sean Lane.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Okay. Champa, Eels.
I've got Eels by 20.
Ooh.
What?
Eels by
Fucking
20.
hell. You're on the hype train, bro.
That-
Damn.
That's bold.
That's massive.
All right, CJ.
Yeah, I'll go. No, I'm going Melbourne by 4 points. Melbourne by 4.
Yeah, Hainesy, Parramatta, and Melbourne.
Literally, this game decides the weekend pretty much. If Melbourne win, if I just say
Top
Para
four
win,
confirmed.
top 4 confirmed, 5th and 6th confirmed, pretty much. And 7th confirmed. So, in the sake of that, I'm going to tip Melbourne 1-12 here. First try scorer, I'm going to go Xavier Coates. He's got a good record at Combank.
I'm going to go Melbourne 1-12, and I'm going to go Justin Olam to score a try tomorrow night.
Nice.
Storm to win, and then I think Para will end up in 6th or 5th, probably 6th.
Literally, if Para lose, they can't even finish 5th either. They'll finish 6th. Basically,
Yeah,
that
because
makes
Rabbitohs and Roosters for and against is better, so whoever wins that will go to 5th, eh?
This game's got so much meaning this weekend. I reckon it's probably more meaning in this game since the 2013 minor premiership, I reckon.
I think this is the game of the round because of top 4. Whoever wins is getting a double chance. So
Exactly.
I'm going Melbourne because Melbourne handle these big games better than Parramatta. So Melbourne 1-12 for mine and Olam to score. Let's go to Friday night footy. 6 o'clock game at ANZ Stadium. It's a dead rubber. It's just about who's on the plane to Bali first. I think that's the real question. Bulldogs and Manly. Lorenzo, what do you reckon?
Dogs 1-12. I think that'll just be a bit too good for us.
Going against their own team. Jesus.
At least dogs give it a go. Dogs give it a go like we do.
It could be an omen.
And first try score at Adokar.
Yeah, all right. Champa?
I'm going to go the Dogs by 16, and I'm going to have Adokar to score 4 tries.
Jesus.
4. I understand 2, but not 4.
Fuck.
CJ?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go Dogs by 8. Jeremy Marshall King to score first.
Hainesy, Doggies and Manly?
I'm agreeing. I'm going the Dogs by 20. I think Manly's season, has just gone to shit. And even though the Dogs haven't played good either, but there's nothing going well at Manly at the moment, and I don't think I can't see him.
We don't. Try.
I can't see him without them injuries. I can't see him up for this game. Last game of the season. I just want to get the fuck out of here. So I'm going to go to Dogs by 20, and Adokar will score try.
Well, Bulldogs and Manly, Friday night, the last game of the year for both teams. I'm going to go the Bulldogs by 12, and I reckon Matt Burton will score a try. Matt Burton will score first.
He's
Doggies to win. Friday night, 7:55 at the new Sydney Football Stadium. Allianz reopens.
Fuck yes.
Roosters and Rabbitohs. The winner gets a home final. The loser will probably finish 7th. Roosters, Rabbitohs. Let's start with Hainesy. Roosters by how much?
Well, I think that the Roosters win close one. Roosters by 6. And the first try scorer will be Joseph Suaalii. He's going to score against his former club. Let him know that South made the fucking wrong decision. Let him go. This game's got so much meaning, like we said. Potentially, if that's why I'm hoping Melbourne win. I don't want to play South again. That just rocks me to the core that we imagine playing South 2 weeks in a row. So hopefully just get them out of the way. It's going to be fucking. I can't handle myself doing that 2 weeks in a row. So Roosters are too much to play for. Everyone kept saying that the Rabbitohs got the rabbit over us at the moment. And they do, but they haven't played at Moore Park since the 2019 qualifying final. We played one at Combank, we played one at Suncorp, and we played the other 3 at Accor Stadium. So we're back at home. We're up for this game. We're going to prove proof why Suaalii is coming to the good side of Anzac Parade, and the Roosters win by 6 points. And Suaalii score the first try.
CJ?
Yeah, biggest rivalry in the game. I think the hoodoo continues. I'll go South 13 plus. South by 14, 26-12. Latrell Mitchell double, Alex Johnston double. Let's go.
Fuck, righto.
Bring it on. Can't wait. I'll be there.
Champa?
I think we're gonna see a few changes in our lineup between kickoff. I can't see Momorowski and Hutchinson on the same side. I think Manu will be on the left wing with Momorowski and Hutchinson with Suaalii to defend Alex Johnston. I think Jackson Paulo is going to have a shocker again. Suaalii will have him in his pocket all night. Mate, like, I don't know why. Like I said, he's going to be a good pickup for the North City Bears next season, so he's not going to run next year. So, but yeah, look, he's going to have a shit house game. We're going to absolutely throw bombs at him all night, and Suaalii will have a field day with him. So yeah, can't wait for it. Can't wait. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you there, CJ.
I'll be
punch on in the car park.
What do you reckon? Champa, you got here? Roosters Rabbits.
I've got Souths by 10 points. I think it's going to be a very tight game, and I'm going to have Cody Walker to score a try.
Ooh,
love it.
All right, ProEnzo, Roosters Rabbitohs.
I've got South by 6 and first try scorer Joseph Suaalii.
I like.
I feel like a fuckwit here because it's the biggest rivalry in the game. 3 of you are going for the Roosters. I mean, for the Rabbitohs, sorry. And I'm going for the Rabbitohs as well. Fuck me.
Get on it, Nick.
You're a fuckwit.
Poor Hainesy's on his own here, but
Hey, look, it's all right. We're down from believers. You know, they said we couldn't beat Melbourne last week. We beat Melbourne last week. So
I tip you guys to beat Melbourne last week. I picked that.
Look, I think the timing's wrong that Radley's out, but you know, I think
it's a big loss.
I think we'll be. I
reckon by 8. I reckon Johnson scores first.
It'll be some. I think the only worry I've got with us is I think our main attack is going to be trying to smash Latrell or Jaira for what he's did to Manu last year, and I think that's what's got the better of us at the last few games. We've run on too much emotion. That could be a downfall, but hopefully we keep that under control, and if we keep on the right things, we'll get the job done. Yeah,
look, I'm going Rabbitohs by 8 here. Johnson to score first, but wouldn't be surprised if Roosters won. It's literally a flip the coin game, I reckon. Let's go to Super Saturday and another game that I think who's going to Bali first as well. It's Warriors and Titans in New Zealand. I don't think anybody gives a shit who wins this contest.
No one
Warriors
gives a fuck
and
about
Titans,
this game.
boys, what do you reckon in New Zealand?
So Warriors fanatic, but no one cares.
For me, I've got Warriors 13 plus and I don't know, first try score Montoya.
Yeah, all right. Champa, Warriors, Titans.
I'm going Titans by 18. Walsh to score a double.
Yuck. Hainesy, Warriors and Titans.
Apparently, the sponsor Vodafone has bought all the tickets. There's got apparently free tickets there, and it might be a sellout there. So Warriors been good at home this season, so I'm going to stick with them. Warriors to win by 12, and I think if Josh Curran if he's playing, he'll score a try.
Yeah, he's in the back row.
Yeah, Josh Curran will score. He's a handy player.
CJ, Warriors and Titans.
Yeah, Warriors by 10. Reece Walsh is scoring his final game for the Warriors.
Just got some breaking news as well, by the way. Adam Pompey's been ruled out for the Warriors. I think Montoya is as well. So Viliani Valia will go to the centers and Edward Cossey will be on the wing. I'm going Warriors 13 plus, and I reckon Edward Cossey will get 2 tries.
Yeah, I'll back Cossey in for a try now. Montoya's out.
Yeah, why not? All right, let's go to Saturday 5:30. Pretty important game. Dragons Broncos. If Broncos win, they're in the 8, depending on what happens with Canberra. But Dragons Broncos, ProEnzo.
Dragons 1-12. They're going to officially end the Broncos' hopes of making the 8 at all. And Dragons 1-12. And my first try score is going to be through Matt Feagai.
He's playing in the centers, so not bad. CJ, Dragons Broncos.
I'll go Brisbane. I think Brisbane will win in Cogra. I'll go to Broncos by 4. Anytime try, I'll go Tyson Gamble. Broncos to
Oh
win.
God. Champa, Dragons, Broncos.
I'm gonna have the Broncos by 4. Carrigan to score a try.
Harrigan to school, that's fucking rare, but who knows? Hainesy, Dragons and Broncos at Cogra.
Big clash. This one sets up again the weekend. As an NRL fan, I love to see the Broncos win just to make the game against the Tigers in Canberra make it even more interesting. Leichhardt, but I can't see him winning after their terrible performance last 2 weeks. How they're going to back that up with a win to save their season? I think St George are in some good form too, even though they against teams, but I think the Titans are in better form than the Broncos at the moment. So I'm going to tip the Dragons by 4 with Benny Hunt against his former club to score a try. And he's also playing for points for the Dally M as well. So I'm going to go.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, look, I'm going to go the Dragons by 10. I can't see Brisbane flying down there and winning with the mentality of getting beat by 50-60 the last 2 weeks. So Dragons by 10, and I reckon Ben Hunt will score as well. Dragons will win.
Again, as an NRL fan, I love to see the Broncos win.
Me too. Me too. Saturday night, it's supposed to be a blockbuster game, third against first. Cowboys
sold out too, Nick.
Yeah, it's sold out up in Townsville, so it'll be a big occasion for the Cowboys up there. Last home game of the regular season. Obviously, we will get a home final because we got top 4. Cowboys versus the New South Wales Cup Panthers, basically. They're resting everyone, Penrith. They don't have one superstar in their team. I think the real question is Cowboys by how much with all the Panthers players being rested? ProEnzo.
Yeah, well, look, if Penrith are playing a B grade side, then yeah, it's obviously going to be a Cowboys win. So I'm going to go the Cows probably by 18 points and first try scorer Murray Tumungi.
Yeah. CJ?
Yeah, Cowboys surely have to win this. So I'll go Cowboys by 34 points, 38-4. Anytime try, I'll go the Hammer.
Champa, Cowboys versus the New South Wales Cup Panthers.
I'm going to have the Cowboys by 10 points.
10?
And I'm going to have I'm going to have Robson to score a try. And I just want to point out real quick, a player that's in the reserves for the Panthers, Asivalu Liasati. For those who don't know, see that Windsor jersey right there? The one in the middle? I played alongside him when he came to the team. So, how was that?
Yeah, okay. Hainesy, Cowboys versus the New South Wales Cup Panthers.
Look, I know as much as you're not going to like this, but I don't think you need to. I think you got to really got to be worried about this game too. I think Penrith all had that next man up mentality. Doesn't mean that they're going to win, but it's a big game for you guys too. So potentially, if the Storm win, you guys can drop as low as 4th come the weekend and play Penrith in week 1, and potentially even to the extent play the Roosters or Souths in week 2 of the finals. So it's going to be very tough for you guys to back up after that. So, but I still think it's a must win for you guys. I think you guys do get the job done, but I think it's a danger game for you guys. I think Penrith will have nothing to lose with their reserve grade side. Just quickly on that, does that affect their New South Wales Cup side, because they got finals this week? Yeah,
it does. It does affect.
Is any of them backing up, or?
I doubt it, bro, because the game's in Townsville, so I highly doubt it.
Fuck, who Penrith got in the reserve grade? Because I think they're
Is it the Bears or is it Newtown this weekend? I swear it's one of them.
I believe it's Newtown.
Oh, well, they're fucked.
They're fucked. Yeah, that's okay. I think they didn't think about that.
Yeah, they wouldn't have thought of that, eh?
Yeah, but
you can just have all the NRL players playing the New South Wales Cup.
They're gonna get rolled. Yeah, if only
I don't think they've got anything on there, but so very interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, look.
I'm gonna go Cowboys 1-12.
Really?
And I think it's a game that Penrith have got nothing to lose, and they're gonna go out and show what they are. The minor premiers, even though they're reserve grade team. It's a next man up mentality. But yeah, the Cowboys 1-12, and I'm gonna go your man there. I'm gonna go the captain Chad Townsend to score a try.
Oh, I love me some Chad Townsend.
A statement from him as well. A statement from the skipper.
A message to Nathan Cleary. Who knows?
Ooh.
Cowboys, I reckon they might get the 50 mark, but because it's a New South Wales Cup team, basically. I'm thinking 52-6 or some bullshit like that. I reckon they win easy. I see Hammers HWI for those named at 5'8", but we all know that probably won't happen. Dearden will probably come in. But Cowboys by 40-50, they'll win easy here. And I'm going to go with the sexiest player to score, Ruben Cotter. He'll score this weekend. I love him. I love Ruben Cotter. I could honestly kiss him on the cheek. He's that good. He's a good sort.
Oh, you're done.
In Murray, it's like you could just give him a big hug. He's that good. All right, Sunday afternoon football, fellas. 2:00 at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. Knights and Sharks. If the Sharks win, they finish second on the ladder. So, ProEnzo Vidz, will the Sharks beat the Knights and get second?
Well, yeah, they should, and I think they will pretty comfortably. So I think Sharks 13 plus, and my first try is going to be Ronaldo Mulitalo.
CHAMPA, Knights and Sharks. If the Sharks win, they get second.
I think Sharks by 40, and I'm backing Talakai to score a try, and I also a player who I think might score a try is Ronaldo Mulitalo.
Yeah, righto. CJ?
I'll go Cronulla by 44. I'll go 54-10. Blake Brayley, anytime try.
Hainesy, Knights and Sharks. If Sharks win, they get second spot.
Big game for the Sharks there. Last home game with the Hunter in Newcastle will be a big game for the Knights. They'll turn up. It'll be a good crowd out there. Just quickly, just back on the Panthers. They're playing North Sydney Bears next on Saturday afternoon, and they got like a lot of outs. So North Sydney Bears will win well against Penrith just on that one. So Newcastle, I think their home record's been terrible. I think your thoughts on the conversation should be safe, Nick. I think the Sharks 13 plus. In saying that, though, they don't really win by a lot, kind of thing. They really haven't put a big score on a team yet. So I'm going to say in between 10 and 20, but still 13 plus.
Yeah, look, I'm thinking Sharks between, 18 to 22 points, like pretty similar to what they did against the Bulldogs, but I'll go Sharks by like 20. And I reckon Ronaldo will score the first try. He will score. And the final game of the round, Sunday, 4:00 at Leichhardt Oval, Tigers, Raiders. Again, if the Raiders win, they play finals. That's all I got to do. Because even if Brisbane do win, the for and against won't be enough. So if Canberra win, Canberra are in the semis, boys.
West Tigers.
ProEnzo, Knights, Raiders. What do you reckon?
Tigers,
Raiders,
bro.
It's going to be good for this one.
ProEnzo?
Yeah, I'll take Canberra 1 to 12. I'm only gonna go 1 to 12 though. I think Tigers might actually put up a fight here. And first try Kim Mamalo.
CHAMPA, Tigers by what?
Tigers by 35 points.
Jesus.
Luke Brooks to score a try.
Oh, fuck.
Brooks, is he playing? Is he?
He's up for the year.
Is Brooks playing?
Oh, wait, no, not Brooksy. Not Brooksy.
Oh,
Not Brooksy.
oh
Dewey.
no.
Who'd you say?
Dewey score two tries.
Good Lord. CJ?
Well, the West Tigers got their first one spoon, so I doubt they care. But, yeah, the Raiders by 14. I'll go 24-10 anytime. I'll go Jordan Rapiner. Raiders will play finals.
I will go Canberra. By 16. I think it'll be a good game for a while. The Raiders will be under a bit of pressure, and then I think they'll get a couple of tries on that left edge. Maybe Kotrick or Hudson Young will go over. But I'm going to go Canberra by 16, and I reckon Hudson Young will score. I really reckon he will.
Always scores.
Don't know what's happened to Hainesy, but connection just died in the ass.
Damn.
Hang on, here
You
it
guys
is.
feel like this is the Tigers. Seriously.
All
Guys are getting the spoons. Kind of hard,
Well, it's a big game. Canberra, can they win and make the semis? So
Yeah, they should.
gigantic game of football this weekend. There's
It's
so
funny,
many possibilities, but I just feel Canberra will win.
Yep, agree.
They have to win. It's as
Big
simple
round.
as that.
Last round, next week's finals. Look forward.
The finals next week. So much up for grabs this weekend, fellas. It's been one hell of a podcast. It's been a big show. It's been a great show as well. I'm just trying to wait for Hainesy to come back so we can wrap things up here. But fellas, I just want to ask you a quick question.
Yep.
What is your game of the round? I know there's a few of them, but what is your game of the round?
For me, it's South Roosters, obviously. Biggest rivalry in the game. Winner gets a home final, from my understanding. It'll be sold out and I'll be there. So, yeah.
Yeah. For me, I've got Storm and Eels only because that game determines who finishes fourth place against the second chance in the final. So I think that has a lot of anticipation.
I've gone I've gone Eels. I've gone Eels Storm. Could be fight for that fourth position. I reckon it could be good.
Hughes is out.
Is he?
What?
According to Paddy, Hughes is out, but I'm not sure if he's just taking the piss or not.
You're kidding.
Let's check it then.
I'll just get to that. Yeah, Jerome Hughes is out.
Hughes, is he actually
Wow.
out? Like, you're not joking?
Just confirmed, ruled out. Cooper Johnson's into the side.
Oh,
That makes things a lot different. Para $2 right now. I'd get on that now.
I'm going Para by 6 now. Anytime try Mitch Moses. I've changed my tip. Para.
wow.
Not Moses.
That's huge.
Okay. It might be a coincidence, but if Melbourne lose, there will be a finals game in Melbourne. So maybe they're just doing it so they can have a.
Imagine they play. They play Canberra, and Canberra's got the mocker over them in Melbourne.
Canberra can win that game.
That's a
Canberra
game.
Canberra can win that game. I don't know why they're resting him. I think Melbourne need to make that top 4.
I'm going Para by 6. I've changed my tip now.
Is Hughes out injured, or is he injured, or is he being rested?
Not sure.
It's got to be an injury. Because top 4's on the line. It's got to be an injury.
I think so.
Oh boy.
Damn,
you know what? I'm still going to tip Melbourne, but I'm not fucking confident now.
No, 100% not.
Jesus Christ. All right, fellas, it's been a great podcast. What a show it's been. Hainesy, CJ, CHAMPA, Lorenzo, thanks for a good show.
No worries. Absolutely love
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me on, bro.
Great show again.
Anytime, boys. Everyone, go and subscribe to their YouTube channels. The link to their channels are in the description below. Anyway, we're getting out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic Wednesday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Thursday night.
See you Friday, CJ.
Let's see who gets in the top 4. We'll find out tomorrow night. But anyway,
enjoy your footy.
Subscribe. See y'all in the next one.
Fuck the